There is a small orange box sitting in the back of your cabinet right now, the same one you use for baking, mostly forgotten the rest of the time. Most people only reach for it once or twice a year for a recipe. But that box of baking soda is the exact same active ingredient sitting inside some of the antacid tablets you have been paying for at the pharmacy. The antacid industry has spent decades selling you chalky tablets, chewable mints, and fizzing packets, all built around a chemical reaction your grandmother already had sitting in her cabinet for $2. They do not want you comparing the ingredient label on their box to the ingredient label on yours. Today, we are stopping the antacid habit and counting down 8 ways your grandmother used this $2 kitchen ingredient instead. And number 1 is the exact remedy that does what an antacid tablet does for pennies instead of dollars. Let's get into it. Number 8, easing bloating and gas after a heavy meal. Your grandmother never reached for a gas relief capsule the moment a big meal sat heavy in her stomach. Stir half a teaspoon of baking soda into a small glass of water and drink it slowly after eating. The mild reaction it creates in the stomach can help release trapped gas through a natural burp, easing that tight, bloated feeling. Gas relief capsules cost $8 to $12 for a small bottle that does the same basic job. She called it her settling glass, and she never let a heavy meal ruin her evening. Number 7, calming a sour, queasy stomach. A sour stomach after rich or greasy food was never something your grandmother treated with an expensive chewable tablet. Mix a quarter teaspoon of baking soda into a half glass of water and sip it slowly until the queasy feeling eases. Baking soda is mildly alkaline, which helps offset some of the acidity that contributes to that sour, unsettled feeling. Chewable upset stomach tablets cost $6 to $9 for a small roll of a dozen pieces. Our grandmothers understood that a pinch from the baking soda box could settle a stomach just as well. Number 6, tenderizing tough cuts of meat. Inexpensive, tough cuts of meat were never a problem your grandmother avoided at the butcher counter. Rub a thin layer of baking soda onto the meat, let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes, then rinse it off thoroughly before cooking. The mild alkalinity breaks down some of the tough proteins on the surface of the meat, leaving it noticeably more tender. Commercial meat tenderizing powders cost $5 to $8 a small container for a similar effect. She did not need a fancy tenderizing spice blend to make a cheap cut taste expensive. Number 5, freshening breath after a meal. Bad breath after a meal full of garlic or onion was never something your grandmother covered up with an expensive mint tin. Swish a small amount of baking soda dissolved in water around the mouth for 30 seconds, then spit it out and rinse with plain water. Baking soda is mildly alkaline and can help neutralize some of the odor-causing acids left behind on the tongue and teeth. Breath-freshening mints and sprays cost $5 to $7 for a small tin. She called it her quick rinse, and it worked before any dinner guest noticed a thing. Before we get to the top 4, if you are finding these forgotten remedies useful, hit subscribe right now. I post forgotten home remedies and money-saving household secrets that your grandmother used before every stomachache came with a price tag attached. Most people watching this right now have not subscribed yet. Change that so you do not miss what is coming. Back to the list. Number 4, soothing a heavy, sluggish stomach with a warm soak. A stomach that feels heavy and uncomfortable after a holiday meal was never something your grandmother just waited out on the couch. Add a half cup of baking soda to a warm bath and soak for 15 to 20 minutes while breathing slowly and deeply. The warmth helps the body relax, and many people find the combination genuinely comforting after overeating, even without a dramatic chemical effect at play. Specialty digestive soak products and bath salts cost $10 to $15 a bag. She kept a box by the bathtub every Thanksgiving without fail. Number 3, easing indigestion after a heavy, fatty meal. Indigestion after a rich, fatty dinner was never something your grandmother let ruin her whole night. Mix half a teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of water and drink it about 20 to 30 minutes after eating, rather than on an empty stomach. The mild alkaline reaction can help offset excess stomach acid that builds up after heavier meals. Indigestion relief tablets cost $7 to $10 for a small package. Before indigestion relief tablets existed, your grandmother had already found her own simple fix. Number 2, calming an occasional acidic stomach before bed. Lying down with an acidic, uncomfortable stomach was never something your grandmother accepted as just part of getting older. Mix a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda into a full glass of water and sip it slowly about an hour before lying down for the night. This gives the body time to settle before the acid has a chance to creep upward while lying flat. Nighttime acid relief tablets cost $9 to $13 for a small box of a few dozen pills. Our grandparents understood that timing a simple remedy correctly mattered just as much as the remedy itself. And here is number 1. Everything on this list so far has eased a passing discomfort, the kind that comes and goes within an hour or two. This last one is the entire reason we are talking about baking soda today, because it is not a softer version of an antacid. It is doing the same basic chemistry as an antacid tablet, using an ingredient that costs about $2 for a box that lasts for months. Heartburn and acid reflux push millions of people toward daily antacid chews, acid reducers, and prescription strength medications that can cost $15 to $30 a month, sometimes far more, for years at a time. Your grandmother had a 1-ingredient answer sitting in her cabinet the entire time. Mix half a teaspoon of baking soda into a full glass of water and drink it slowly when heartburn starts to creep up after a meal. Baking soda, known chemically as sodium bicarbonate, is a base, and stomach acid is acidic. When the two meet, they neutralize each other in a simple, well-understood chemical reaction, the same reaction that powers several over-the-counter antacid products on the market today, some of which list sodium bicarbonate directly on their ingredient label. This is not folk legend dressed up as science. It is the same basic chemistry happening either in a fizzing tablet you paid for or in a glass of water you mixed yourself. This is not for everyday, all-day use, and it is not a substitute for seeing a doctor about frequent or severe heartburn, since regular use can add more sodium to the diet than some people should have, particularly anyone managing blood pressure or kidney health. But for the occasional bout of heartburn after a heavy meal, the same neutralizing reaction is available in your kitchen for a fraction of the price. Think about what that means. An entire industry sells brightly colored chewable tablets and fizzing packets built around a reaction your grandmother could create with a spoon and a glass of water. They do not advertise the plain chemistry behind it, because a colorful tablet with a brand name sounds far more convincing than a box that already lives in your cabinet. Your grandmother never needed a commercial to tell her something worked. She watched it work, remembered it, and passed it down without ever charging anyone a markup for the secret. 8 remedies, 1 $2 box, a few cents a dose, and a wisdom that never needed a marketing budget to prove itself. Which one of these are you going to try first? Drop it in the comments right now, because I read every single one. And if your grandmother used baking soda for something I did not cover in this video, share it. This community holds knowledge that cannot be found in any book, and every remedy shared here keeps something alive that deserves to be remembered. If this video helped you, hit subscribe. I post forgotten home remedies and household secrets that save real money every single week.